Welcome back, everyone. We apologise for the technical hitch that we've experienced. We thank you for your patience. We are trying our best to get everybody back into this live event, and the production will resume in a few minutes' time. Sit tight, go grab a drink. A warm welcome back to our production of A Christmas Carol. Thank you for sticking with us. We will resume immediately with the rest of our production.
Come, Ebenezer.
What is this? my gleaming room? It's my nephew's home. And you, Spirit, standing smiling by his side and looking at that same nephew with approving affability.
He said that Christmas was a humbug as I live. He believed it too. He's a comical old fellow, that's the truth, and not so pleasant as he might be. However, his offences carry their own punishment, and I've nothing to say against him. His wealth is of no use to him. He don't do any good with it. He don't make himself comfortable with it. He hasn't the satisfaction of thinking that he's ever going to benefit us with it. I could be angry with him if I tried. Who suffers by his ill whims? Himself, always. What's the consequence?
More shame for him. Fred, I have no patience with him. Do go on, Fred. He is such a ridiculous fellow.
I was only going to say that the consequence of his taking a dislike to us and not making merry with us is, as I think, that he loses some pleasant moments which could do him no harm. I mean to give him the same chance every year, whether he likes it or not, for I pity him. He may rail at Christmas till he dies, but he can't help thinking better of it. I defy him if he finds me going there in good temper year after year and saying, "Uncle Scrooge, how are you?" If it only puts him in the vein to leave his poor clerk £50, that's something. And I think I shook him yesterday.
My life upon this globe is very brief. It ends tonight.
Tonight? Are spirits' lives so short?
Tonight at midnight, hark. The time is drawing near. I have but one more visitation for you.
Well, I saw an old friend of yours this afternoon.
Really? Who was it?
Guess.
How can I? Don't I know?
Mr. Scrooge it was. I passed his office window, and as it was not shut up, and he had a candle inside, and there he sat alone, I could hardly scarce help seeing him. Quite alone in the world, I do believe.
Oh. Remove me! I cannot bear it! You, what are you?
I am about to show you the shadows of the things that have not happened, but will happen in the time before us. I am the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
I fear you more than any spectre I have seen. But as I know your purpose is to do me good, and as I hope to live to be another man from what I was, I am prepared to bear your company and do it with a thankful heart.
Come.
Well, old Scratch has got his own way at last, eh? Last night, I believe.
I thought he'd never die. It's likely to be a very cheap funeral, for upon my life, I don't know anybody to go to it. What has he done with his money?
Left it to his company, perhaps. He hasn't left it to me. I don't know much about it either way. Every person has a right to take care of themselves.
He always did. God knows what's the matter with him. He frightened everyone away from him when he was alive. He lay in the dark, empty house with no one to say that he was kind to me in this or that.
If he hadn't, he'd have had somebody to look after him when he was struck with death, instead of lying gasping out his last all alone by himself.
Spirit, I see. I see. The case of this unhappy man might be my own. My life tends that way now, merciful heaven.
Shh. Look. Listen.
Is it good or bad?
Bad.
We are quite ruined.
No, there is hope yet, Caroline.
If he relents, there is. Nothing is past hope. If such a miracle has happened.
He is past relenting. He is dead.
Nothing is past hope. If such a miracle has happened.
when I tried to see him and obtain a week's delay, and what I thought was a mere excuse to avoid me turns out to have been quite true. He was not only very ill, but dying.
To whom will our debt be transferred?
I don't know, but before that time we shall be ready with the money, and even though we were not, it would be a bad fortune indeed to find so merciless a creditor in his successor. We may sleep tonight with light hearts, Caroline.
Let me see some tenderness connected with a death.
Come to Cratchit's, your clerks.
Lead on, lead on. The night is waning fast, and it is precious time to me, I know. Lead on, spirit. Whose terrible fate am I to learn from?
Sunday. You went today then, Bob?
Yes, my dear. I wish you could have gone. It would have done you good to see how green a place it is. But you'll see it often. I promised him that I would walk there on a Sunday. My little child. My little child.
However and whenever we part from one another, I am sure we shall none of us forget poor Tiny Tim, shall we? Or this first parting that there was among us.
Oh, no, my dears, that when we recollect how patient and how mild he was, although he was a little child, we shall not quarrel easily among ourselves and forget poor Tiny Tim in doing it.
Spectre? Tiny Tim is dead? The house is yonder. Why do you point away? What is this? Tim's grave? Such a little boy?
Look.
But why do you point out into the darkness, to that lonely corner of the graveyard? Spirit, this is a fearful place. In leaving it, I shall not leave its lesson, trust me. Let us go. Something informs me that our parting moment is at hand.
Look.
I know it, but I know not how. Before I draw nearer to that stone to which you point, answer me one question. Oh, tell me I may sponge away the writing on the stone. Spirit, hear me. I am not the man I was. I will not be the man I must have been but for this intercourse. Why show me this if I am past all hope, good spirit? Your nature intercedes for me and pities me. Assure me that I may yet change these shadows you have shown me by an altered life. I will honour Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach.
Remember.
I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall such strive within me. Oh, Jacob Marley. Heaven and the Christmas time be praised for this. I say it on my knees. Oh, Jacob, on my knees. I don't know what to do. I am as light as a feather. I am as happy as an angel. I am as merry as a schoolboy. I am as giddy as a drunken man. I don't know what day of the month it is. I don't know how long I've been among the spirits. I don't do anything. What day today, my fine fellow?
It's Christmas Day.
It's Christmas Day? I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. They can do anything they like. Of course they can. Of course they can. Hello, my fine fellow. A Merry Christmas to everybody. A Happy New Year to all the world. Hello here. Whoop. Hello.
Nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Saviour was born on Christmas Day.
My dear, how do you do? I hope you succeeded with your caroling yesterday. It was very kind of you. A Merry Christmas to you, madam.
Mr. Scrooge?
Yes, that is my name. And I fear it may not be pleasant to you. Allow me to ask your pardon. And will you have the goodness to visit my offices so that I can begin to make a regular donation of, shall we say, every week, about so many pounds?
Lord bless me, my dear Mr. Scrooge. Are you serious?
If you please, not a farthing less. A great many back payments are included in it, I assure you. Will you do me a favour? You there! Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Do you know the poulterers in the next street but one at the corner?
Yeah.
Do you know whether they've sold the prize turkey that was hanging up there?
Dunno.
Please go and buy it and bring it to this address.
Yeah.
Now, I'm off to my nephew's house. Fred! Fred! Fred!
Why, bless my soul, who's that?
It's I, your Uncle Scrooge. I have come to dinner. Will you let me in, Fred?
Let him in. It's a mercy he didn't shake his arm off. He was at home in 5 minutes. Wonderful party, wonderful games, wonderful geniality, wonderful happiness. But he was early at the office next morning. Oh, he was early there. If he could only be there first and catch Bob Cratchit coming late, that was the thing he had set his heart upon.
Hello? And what do you mean by coming here at this time of day?
Oh, I'm very sorry, sir. I'm behind me time.
You are? Yes, I think you are. Step this way, sir, if you please.
Oh, it's only once a year, sir. It shall not be repeated. I was making rather merry yesterday, sir.
Now, I'll tell you what, my friend.
Mm.
I am not going to stand this sort of thing any longer. And therefore, I am about to raise your salary.
Huh?
A Merry Christmas, Bob. A merrier Christmas, Bob, my good fellow, than I have ever given you for many a year. I'll raise your salary and endeavour to assist your struggling family, and we will discuss your affairs this very afternoon over a bowl of smoking bishop. Bob, make up the fires and buy another coal scuttle before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Oh, bless you, sir.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city knew in the good old world. Some people laughed to see the alteration in him, but he let them laugh, and little heeded them, for he was wise enough to know that nothing ever happened on this globe for good at which some people did not have their fill of laughter at the outset. His own heart laughed, and that was quite enough for him. And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. May that be truly said of all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed,
God bless us, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you for tuning in. We wish you a very Merry Christmas and a healthy and happy New Year.
Lisvane players dedicate this performance to the late Paul Doubler, profoundly missed by all of us. Good night.